All right. We got another video. Let's get into the commercial first before we start.
Live with no fear.
All right. So today I got a video. I pulled up Joe Budden's Patreon exclusive. Suggest everyone go subscribe to that. I follow Joe Budden on Patreon because he provides a lot more than just entertainment. Actually provides a lot of business insight, and if you're able to decipher between some of the things he says and some of the information he gives, you can apply it to your business, or you can apply it to your life. Joe Budden has been in the entertainment industry for over 20 years now, or about 20 years now, I want to say. I think Pump It Up came out in 2003. So he offers a lot of insight, and he offers a perspective that is valuable. Sometimes, we get used, or we get stuck on the entertainment aspect because he has a reputation that precedes himself. And he addresses that actually on the platform. He actually says, well, we're going to get into that. He talks about how he started and how his reputation he feels it actually hindered him. And then they argue that his start was in podcasting specifically was enhanced, or he had an advantage because of his background, because of his rapping career. But Joe Budden is saying, no, that's not what I'm saying. If I had a blank canvas, if I had a clear slate, my trajectory actually would have been higher. So that's just one of the many topics that he talks about. They also talk about equity. They talk about starting out, and we're gonna dive deep, and let's go. This is Ian. I'm not sure what his last name is. Ian Schwarz, I believe. Ian Schwarz is, from what I understand, Joe Budden's manager. I've known about Ian for a few years now, and I never really understood what he did. I knew he was behind the scenes, and you could put two and two together and see that he has a good influence on Joe Budden, because Joe Budden's career has continued to go upwards. Even when Joe Budden faced adversity with the mall and Rory and Mall split, Joe Budden was able to sustain his business, continue and thrive. And I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with this guy. And even before the split, his business continued to rise as far as his rebuilding his brand and his relationships. I'm pretty sure it had a lot to do with him. Taking no credit away from Joe, but just putting things in perspective. He offers up a lot of insight and information in this video. And I really suggest that people go subscribe to the Patreon. It's worth the money. A lot of times people think, you're just throwing money away when I could watch it on YouTube. Well, these Patreon exclusives, they're really giving up some great conversations. They're very intellectual. And if you're into investing in yourself, the money's going to be worth it. You're going to get something back that's actually going to provide you more value than what you paid. Because cash is just, it's cash, but the knowledge and information is something that lasts a lifetime. So let's play some of the video. Obviously, we can't play too much of it. I don't want to get copy strike or anything like that. So let's start and let's see what they have to say.
Growing company could mean during a time of an
A lot of these
event,
things not taking
going
bets.
public, being sold to a parent company, they would be interested in equity.
Let me ask you.
So let me provide some additional context. Right now, I just started the video 20 minutes in, as you see. Ian is talking about equity, and his argument is that more people should be asking for equity, or it should at least be in their minds when they're going to do any type of deal or partnership or business or work for somebody, right? Akademiks, and ICE, I believe, their argument is that everyone shouldn't ask for equity because, one, they don't deserve it, two, they don't understand it, and that's their argument. Joe Budden's on Ian's side saying, no, ask for equity. We know that he's been a big advocate of people getting equity. And me personally, I am an advocate for people getting equity as long as they understand what their value that they're bringing, or the potential value that they're bringing. So you have to take a risk at some point. But a lot of people are taking a check, right? You know, if you work a job, they're going to give you a payment for those services that you render for Monday through Friday, X amount of hours, right? You're not getting any equity ownership. So once you leave, that's it. You only get paid what you worked. Equity, you will continue to get paid for the rest of your life as long as you own that equity in that particular business.
This, I got a conversation that we had not too long ago. I don't want to bring the gentleman's name up. People were investing in some gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's getting equity. The second that those gentlemen lost that bread, they called it a scam.
But that's like any other hater in all markets.
Listen.
So, in my opinion, I think Ish was playing the devil's advocate or God's advocate. I think he was just trying to, this is a show, so they have to have different points of view, so a conversation can be had. I don't think that's a good argument because that's a risk. So what they're talking about, Caesar and DJ Envy situation, right? If you don't know about it, DJ Envy and Caesar, I think his name Milan, they were doing some real estate things and they had people investing money, and turns out that that money that they invested wasn't going to what they thought and they wasn't getting anything back. If anyone's ever invested with someone, there's a risk of not getting your money back, or there's a risk that that person might not be authentic. You have to vet the businesses that you're working with. You have to vet the people that you're working with. This equity conversation isn't necessarily about that. This is about doing business with businesses or entities that are established, personalities that are established, not just random people. Not saying that DJ Envy's random, because he's an established person, which is why the controversy is so high, and he took a lot of heat for that, deservingly so, because he used his name recognition and attached it to Caesar's plan or business, and he has to take the heat because he validated that business. But we're talking about like big companies like a Spotify, a YouTube, Facebook, Google, these big major companies. Now Rumble's on the conversation. We're talking about getting equity of these startup companies that we know are actually real companies. So there's no question or concern for being scammed because we see the product. We could touch the product. We can not touch the product. It's all digital, but we can use the product. So in my opinion, that's not a good argument that Ish is making. Creators should still think about equity and where they're putting their talents, where they're bringing their audience, and what are they getting in return in the long run. You have to hold these things into account because you have to know the value of what you're doing. Because 5 years down the line, either you're going to extract the true value of what you did, or somebody else, i.e. a Spotify, YouTube, or Rumble, is going to extract the value of what you're doing and what you've done. And they're going to pay you. But if you don't have equity, the value that you contributed, you might never see or receive in return. That dollar amount might not, or most likely is not the value that you're giving them. Let's continue.
What I'm saying is,
I get you.
What I'm saying is,
Nah, shit like that happens.
when we buy into some shit,
Yeah.
and when you
Vet your business.
Yeah.
when you
Exactly. You got to vet the business, man. Just said that.
When you start investing, the definition when you start investing is you potentially can make spanky and you can lose your spanky. And so when we lose our spanky after we invested in some shit, we quick to call it a scam.
Be very clear, Ish. Everyone.
I don't think that's a good example. Personally, I really don't think that's a good example. And I like Ish. Ish brings a lot of good points to the pod. Definitely, he was a great speaker. I think sometimes he overtalks and he doesn't let people finish their points, ironically. But I just don't think that's a good argument, personally.
I'm sorry, Joe. Be very clear. There is no one in our sphere, and I say no one loosely because maybe there's a handful of people that is going to turn down the multi-million-dollar deal over an invisible piece of paper that says, here is some stock or equity in this business, and it could be a business we all know of. They don't understand it, most of the people. True. So what they do is they go, keep that. I'll take that $5 million.
I'll take that.
So basically, he's saying people, i.e. creators, are taking dollar amounts as opposed to something that's written that says you own something, such as a stock or a share of this company, right? But if you are the talent and you're going to a company, you know you're talented, right? So you know you're gonna bust your ass. You're gonna do a good job, right? So you're bringing your talents to a company, and there's gonna be a bunch of talent going to this company. So the company is gonna eat. The company is gonna do their thing, right? The company is gonna thrive. So why wouldn't you want to own that same company or have ownership that you know is going to continue to thrive with people like you? I mean, if you're betting on yourself and you know your talent is going to do a good job and bring views and bring an audience and make the platform even more entertaining, and you know there's others like you that you're competing with, why wouldn't you want a piece of the pie for the long haul so you can continue to eat? Because if they ever want to do away with you, they could just do away with you. They already paid you, but you have no equity. And people really don't understand that. They're like, I got my $5 million, which is a lot of money for some people. Also, we got to put money in perspective now because it's levels. $5 million is how much to someone that has $5 billion. $5 billion is how much to someone that has $50 billion, right? So that dollar amount that you're getting, it might not be the same in 5 years. They might be worth $50 billion in 10 years, 5-10 years, who knows? And you contributed to that, and you're going to be sick. And instead of you getting your $5 million, you might be I don't want to say entitled, but yeah, you might be entitled to 50 million. Right? And we know in society everything goes up for all class groups. It don't matter if you're a thousandaire, a millionaire, or a billionaire. We see as time goes on, everything continues to go up in price and value. Well, not everything, but certain things, right? Asset classes such as homes, art, these things appreciate, right? So you have to think, I want to appreciate. I want my value to appreciate. I want the things that I contributed to appreciate. And you can only do that if you have equity. Ironically, the word is appreciate. Appreciate yourself, appreciate your value. But when you take a dollar amount and you're only getting paid for that short term, that's it. And life goes on forever. Your life might not go on forever, but life goes on forever. What does that mean? You might have children, or you might not even have children. You might have causes you want to contribute to, family you want to contribute to. So you have to think about the bigger picture. I know I've been mostly talking and I haven't been playing much of the video, but I want to share my perspective. You know, this is BILLINICO commentary, and I don't want to just rely on playing people's videos and kind of saying something here and there. I want to give my perspective and my thoughts, and I want people to really think about this. And this goes into any any person, no matter where you're at, what position you're in, just start thinking about these things. Look at things from a business perspective, from a money perspective, an equity perspective. Obviously, understand you have to bring value, though. You can't ask for something if you're not bringing a value. But if you're bringing a value, you definitely you want to consider getting some of that equity, man. Don't just take that dollar amount. Say, hey, I'll take this dollar amount, but what kind of equity can I get? You know, can I get some shares? Can I get this? Can I get that? And I believe there was a day and time when a lot of companies did that. You know, that was part of, you signing on with a job or a company. You would get shares. You know, that would give you incentive to work for that company. And if I have a business, I'm willing to give shares as long as I know you're bringing a value. Why not? The company's going to grow. You're going to grow. That's what we want. That's good business. But a lot of companies have been able to finesse a lot of people by just giving them a dollar amount and they caking up. You know what I'm saying? So, we gotta step it up. And these conversations are good. And Ian, who I hate to bring race into it, but he is a white man. He's a Caucasian man, right? But what he's saying is true. And the people he's saying it to, it is what it is. You gotta understand what he's saying. He is talking to us. He's talking to people that are of certain melanin, black and brown people, and he's saying it straight up to what it is. Know your value, and ask for your value, and keep your value. Don't just sell your value for a one-time fee.
I got that $5 million.
I'll take the money.
Not ever thinking to themselves, wait a second, this company's publicly traded. It's at a stock valuation of $30. If I can help get that stock to $30, I get 10x what they would have offered.
10x. So I did see the video, but I didn't even do the math. So what I said earlier, they said 5 mil, right? And I said, you take that 5 mil thinking you're balling. Company grows that you contributed to, but you really could have got 50 mil. Now, I don't want people to get this construed and think they walk into any situation and, oh, I get 10x this. No, you have to contribute. You have to know what business you're buying into, right? So if you're going to a platform like Rumble, you're like, oh, this business is growing. I'm here. I'm a creator, and there's other creators here. Oh, it's inevitable. It's gonna grow. So I'll take maybe not 5 mil but maybe I'll take 2, and I need this X amount of shares. So you're going to get 50 mil because he said the stock starts at $3 per share, right? So if the company in 5 years goes to $30 per share, that company has 10x its value. So your 5 mil, right, that you would have got, 10x value in 5 years that you contributed to is 50 million. That's a huge difference. That's a lot of money. And let's get into the real discussion. That's power. Because we all know 10x anything, you can do a lot more with 10x anything. And these little things that they have us thinking that we can't do and we shouldn't think about is very dangerous. Ish and Ice, I'm sorry, but I don't know if they was doing it for pod purposes, but that was very not cool, in my opinion, that they're talking about everyone doesn't need to be a boss and everyone doesn't need to think about equity. See, they're saying it the wrong way. Everyone can't ask for equity because they might not bring enough value. But the people that are bringing value should ask about equity, and everyone should understand equity, especially the men. But if you're a woman and you're in a business, or if you're a creator, you should understand equity as well, right? Everyone should understand value and equity. Everyone should think from a business perspective. Does that mean you are a boss and you own your own thing? Necessarily, no. But if you're a hardworking man, you should understand business. You should understand value. So you're getting the most out of every situation around you. You should understand how to do good business, extract the most from whatever situation you're in, so you can move forward better than where you were. You know, this conversation where, you know, Dame got that pushback at the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne was saying everyone doesn't need to be a boss. Everyone doesn't need to be a boss. And Dame is like, what? Like, how? That doesn't make any sense. If you are a man of your household, if you are a husband, a father, you are a boss. You are automatically a boss. So how can you be in this position or these positions and not think like a boss? You have to value yourself differently. And that's what Dame was saying. That's what Joe Budden says. And that's what Ian's saying. They're saying it in different ways, but it's the same principle. Think of things like a boss. That doesn't mean you have to run your own company and you can't do partnerships and you can't be a worker. It's about the mentality. It's about your mindset.
Offered me.
This is the famous 50 Cent and Sha Money story.
Right, the 1%.
Michael Jordan,
The 1% of the album,
Magic
right?
Johnson and Nike.
Yeah, I don't like when Ish be kind of jumping in, over talking a little bit too much. But shout out to Ish though.
Converse, it's a
Usher
bunch of them.
and
As long as we acknowledge it works both ways too.
Yeah.
Because
But I did.
There's a bunch of creators I know, they invested in this gaming company called FaZe, got listed on the stock market at $50 a share. They had options. Hey, listen, you can take this amount of money.
That's right.
Or you could just get an equity. All right, let's do the equity thing. We think this is going to the moon. This shit's worth $1 now.
Good. That's risk.
So they've lost a lot.
I remember that. See, that was a little different. I personally, I didn't know what FaZe offered. So FaZe is like a gaming clan. They do streaming and stuff like that. And I think they offered, this is just me off the top of that, from what I remember, they offered the public or their, you know, the fans, you know, which is the public, opportunity to buy into their clan, which they put on the stock market, and then the value dropped. But a lot of people, from what I understood, they were saying that FaZe clan did that to kind of get a bunch of money last minute from just the public because their value or their brand was dying down. So that was their last way of kind of getting some capital, extracting capital from their viewership. So I don't know if that's true or false. That's just alleged. So I don't want any issues as far as that goes. But that's what I heard.
A lot of money.
Yes.
And I'm guessing because I see them complaining.
Have you ever heard scam? The word scam?
Well, they haven't called it a scam yet, but
Okay.
if it's the conversation that I think you talking about, that person wasn't called a scammer because, hey, we invested.
Yeah, they were called scammers because he didn't do what he said he was going to do. He literally did not do what he said he would do. That is a scammer. Investing in a business that just fails is not a scam. Investing in a stock that, you know, the value of the business didn't do what it was supposed to do or bring what it was supposed to bring, that is not a scam. That is just a business that just did not perform at its best. A scam is when someone says, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for you, and you give me this, and they just blatantly lied to you, and they just took your money. That is a scam.
Some shit and now it's lost.
That's
that
right.
person was called a scammer for his words when he was receiving money, making promises that you could not keep.
That's what my DJ Envy old
that
boy?
was, yeah.
Yes. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because, you know, Joe Budden Podcast. You can go watch his video in full, which is a great episode. Again, I want to tell people to go subscribe to his Patreon. It's worth it. I might even put a link into his Patreon in my bio so you guys can check it out. And I might put a link for DJ Akademiks YouTube page as well because he has great content on his channels. I want to only contribute to the conversation and I want to lead you guys to the source so you guys can go to them as well. And, you know, pick their brains virtually because they have great points and it's a great conversation.
Most of them left. They asked how many have came out. He said pretty much all. I would say 98%.
Okay.
And we made some changes. He still believes in what he believes in, but
You're taking it out of context.
not all of them are extreme.
Yes, they are.
Are
You
you saying
are
the
fucking
majority?
extreme
all
voice.
right-wingers are
You
extreme.
are.
Okay, so right here at this point, they're talking about the message or the overall goals of Rumble. Rumble is a streaming service that DJ Akademiks recently signed to. And what I understand, Rumble is signing a lot of right-wing creators, podcasters, entertainers, etc. A lot of those right-wing players got banned from YouTube. DJ Akademiks is saying just because I'm going over there doesn't mean I'm contributing to the right-wing agenda. Ian and Joe Budden's argument is saying you are contributing to the right-wing agenda. So this is an interesting perspective because at first I was on DJ Akademiks' side. I was saying he's just going to a platform to provide his services. He's not contributing to the right-wing agenda because he's not a right-winger. He's just going to a platform that has right-wingers, and it's apparently it's open to everybody. Here's the caveat. If it's open to everyone, that doesn't mean that they don't have their own agenda. And I had to think even deeper or bigger because Joe Budden mentioned Fox and Rupert Murdoch. Google Rupert Murdoch and how he started. Check out some of the documentaries. The show Succession, I believe, is loosely about Rupert Murdoch and his family. How he built Fox. As we know, in the 90s, Fox did have some black shows like Martin, which was a hit with the black community. But if you look at Fox, what it is today, they are totally right wing. And I'm not left wing or right wing. I don't think either one is wrong or right. I think it's just whatever you believe in. But the argument is saying Rumble is a right wing platform and their agenda is to grow and to eventually just be totally right wing. I think Ish was saying, no, they're just for people that are voiceless, that people that need a voice. So if you can't work on YouTube, where else are you going to go? You got to go somewhere. Ian is saying, no, these aren't the voiceless. These are extreme voices, which they very well might be. I guess we're going to find out eventually what the truth is. But Rumble, I get what they're doing now. They broke it down for me. Rumble is going to they'll take a DJ Akademiks. They'll take a Rizza Islam. They'll take liberal people. They'll take a Joe Budden. They'll take kind of thing. They'll take a Joe Biden if he had Obama, if they could. That doesn't mean that their agenda isn't their agenda. And I'm not saying what their agenda is. We're just going hypothetically if their agenda is to promote and grow a right-wing themed streaming service or platform. So they're just getting people to bring their audience and help them grow. And at the end of the day, they could just say, all right, we done with you guys. We used you guys to grow our business. Now we're going to tell you what we're really about. And that's what they're saying Fox did. Fox had black creators, entertainers come to their platform to compete with NBC, which is genius because, hey, I got a shop, you got a shop. You're not working out over there because of whatever reason, so come over here. But at the end of the day, my agenda is my agenda. I'm just using you for now. You need me for now. I'll pay you, but my goals are still my goals. So it's a very, very interesting conversation. This was one of Joe Budden's best episodes. One of his best episodes, in my opinion. And I think people need to go check it out. Wow, we're 30 minutes in already.
Wait.
No, I'm not saying right
No,
winger.
he's talking about the people that they
30 minutes in already, and I barely played any of the video. Amazing. Y'all know where that's from, right? No?
cutting these checks
Exactly.
to bring audience
No, I
over.
was
Are the
talking about
loudest-
the band. I was talking about the banned people. I was
The
talking about
banned
the people
folks.
that got banned that are now funneling
You're saying,
into
yeah, but
Rumble.
he is one.
He didn't get-
is
I'm
the-
not banned.
They banned.
No, it's not about banned. It's you are affected by algorithmically charged platforms.
That's not what I said.
So they're arguing kind of tomato tomato. Basically, these platforms such as YouTube are algorithmically charged, right? So you're under the whims of the algorithm. It is what it is. You have to play the game to get visibility. It's just saying people were banned. It's the same thing. You could be banned through the algorithm. You can be limited through the algorithm. So people are going to Rumble because of these reasons. So it's really the same argument. They don't have to spend that much time on that aspect of it.
I said the people, the
He's
voiceless.
specifically
When I said
speaking
the
on the banned
voiceless, I was
people
talking
who
about
don't
the
have a
people
platform
that
to
got
get-
banned on other platforms. They took their voices
The
away
refugees.
on the other platforms. Now they are now funneling, and my Israelites, I don't give a fuck who it is, up are
Of people that have similar thoughts, keeping them there so that when information has to be disseminated, this is
So actually, I think I'm gonna make a part 2 to this. We're gonna hold it right here. 30 minutes in, I think we're gonna do. So bear with me and I'll get back.